Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Scholar of renown Muhammad ibn Abd Al-Hameed Al-Samarqandi, edited by Adil Falahi. Abul Fath Muhammad ibn Abd Al-Hameed ibn al-Hasan al-Samarqandi was born in 488 after Hijrah, corresponding to Common Era 1095. His birthplace was Asmand, a village close to Samarkand in Central Asia. Travel was still an important aspect of a scholar's life, as every scholar could only achieve excellence through meeting a large number of senior scholars in their respective towns and cities, attending their circles and reading under them. However, we do not have any record of Samarkandi's travels. It is only mentioned that he arrived in Baghdad in the year when he traveled for pilgrimage, which happened to be the year of his death. We also learn that he also traveled to Marw in Persia. In Baghdad, he met a number of well-known scholars and was engaged in scholarly debates, proving himself to be of the highest scholarly caliber. We also learn that he attended Ibn al-Jawzi's circle, who was one of the main Hanbali scholars. This means that apart from these limited travel, he spent his life in his hometown, which produced over the year a large number of distinguished scholars. Three of his teachers were of very high standard. The first was Umar ibn Abdul Aziz ibn Majah al-Bukhari, who died in 536 after Hijrah, who was a top scholar of fiqh or Islamic law, distinguished for his knowledge of disagreement among the top scholars of the Hanafi school of law. Al-Ashraf ibn Muhammad ibn Abi Shuja, a well-known scholar of fiqh, was his second main teacher, while the third was Ali ibn Uthman al-Farras, a scholar from Samarkand, who was renowned for his piety. The period in which As-Samarkandi lived was one of turmoil that engulfed many parts of the Muslim world. In Samarkand itself, Sultan Malik Shah occupied the area as a prelude to his drive to remove the local king, who was a young, inexperienced ruler with little popularity. This was shortly before the birth of As-Samarkandi. These events ushered a period of struggle for power. Elsewhere in the Muslim world, the Crusades had started, with the Crusaders managing to occupy Jerusalem and establish a kingdom there in 492 after Hijrah. This occupation was accompanied by numerous killings among Muslims. Shortly afterward, the Crusaders were able to occupy Tripoli in North Lebanon and launched an attack to conquer Damascus, but they were unable to subdue it. For nearly 2 centuries, the central part of the Muslim world witnessed a continuous struggle between the Crusaders and the Muslims. As far as our scholar is concerned, the struggle continued practically throughout his life. A different type of turmoil raged during the lifetime of As-Samarkandi, which caused much strife by a group known as Ismailiya. They were able to occupy many forts and established several strongholds after their creed gained momentum in Isfahan in today's Iran through the efforts of Al-Hasan ibn Saba. They were able to gain power in parts of Iran at different times. This shows that Samarkandi time was one that witnessed great trouble in different parts of the Muslim world. Samarkandi was a prominent scholar of the Hanafi school of Islamic law or fiqh, which was predominant in practically all Central Asia right up to the Middle East. He wrote numerous books, mostly in fiqh, but he also wrote in other areas, particularly theology and the essence of faith. One of his books is known as Sharh al-Hidayah, which is an explanation and annotation of an earlier book called Al-Hidayah by Nuruddin Ahmad ibn Muhammad Sabuni, who died in 508 after Hijrah. Another book by As-Samarkandi is known as Sharh al-Ta'wilat, which is again an explanation of an earlier book by a prominent scholar. This one, At-Ta'wilat, is an exposition of the basics of faith and the essential elements of God's oneness as accepted by mainstream Muslims known as Ahl Sunnah by Al-Maturidi, a highly prominent scholar of the Hanafi school of law. As-Samarkandi explains and annotates At-Ta'wilat in a book of 4 volumes. Sharh al-Jami al-Kabir is another book written by As-Samarkandi in several volumes devoted to the explanation of Al-Jami al-Kabir by Imam Muhammad ibn al-Hasan al-Saybani, who died in 187 after Hijrah. Al-Saybani was the third most important figure in the Hanafi school, and he was the one who collected the teachings, rulings, and views of Imam Abu Hanifa and his most important companion, Imam Abu Yusuf, on all subjects of Islamic scholarship and documented them in books that remain the basis of Hanafi scholarship. Al-Jami al-Kabir, as may be understood from its name, which means the comprehensive collection, is the most important and most detailed of these. It has been explained and annotated by a number of prominent Hanafi scholars. As-Samarkandi was one of these, and his work is comprehensive. Other works by As-Samarkandi show that he was highly competent in other areas of Islamic studies. However, none of these works has moved from the status of a manuscript preserved in some library to publication and printing except for one. This book is given the title Mukhtaliful Riwaya, which means varying views. It discusses controversy in matters of detail in Islamic fiqh and how these are reported in different ways. As-Samarkandi wrote 2 earlier books, Sharh Uyunul Masail and Sharh al-Jami al-Kabir, which outline such differences attributed to the main 4 Hanafi scholars, Abu Hanifa, Abu Yusuf, Muhammad ibn al-Hasan, and Jufar ibn al-Hudayl. This book, Mukhtalifur Riwaya, adds the differing views of Imam Shafi and Imam Malik, the founders of 2 other schools of law, on each of the detailed matters discussed. As such, it is a book of great value and high importance. This book, or indeed the first part of it devoted to Islamic worship, has been thoroughly edited on the basis of comparing 5 manuscripts of the book by Isha Zaki Isa as his research for which he was awarded the degree of PhD from the Islamic University in Medina. It is published in a book of 470 pages by the Ministry of Religious Endowment in Kuwait. As-Samarqandi died in 552 after Hijrah, corresponding to some error here. May God shower mercy on him. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.